Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Theresa and I'm very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful garbage mouth where I tend to use fuck as a comma. If you're not into that or weird shit in general, bitch, this is not the place for you. Feel free to exit the video here. No harm, no foul. But I'll remember our time fondly. If you want to jump straight to the overall review of the products, I'll leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. Guys, so I have been sick for a while, as you guys know, for about 2 weeks now. It's been pretty fucking insane. And I had bronchitis and it was terrible, but you know what? Now I finally feel better. I feel fucking wonderful. And I just want to say thank you so much for all your well wishes and all that good shit. You guys mean so much to me. And so it was really nice reading a lot of your messages and all that good stuff. So thank you. Mwah. Love your fucking faces. Now, with that said, I had the pleasure of going to work while I was sick. I don't know about you guys, but I pretty much have a job where they almost make me feel guilty about taking sick time, you know? Like they kind of give you that passive aggressive like,
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
And it's so fucking annoying, but I'm not gonna sit here and complain about that because I'm pretty sure you guys are all in the same boat as me. So with that said, my job forced me to go to work because they felt that it was better for me to infect my colleagues and pretty much cough up a lung all over the copy machine. Now with that said, I had the pleasure of having this happen to me while I was in the bathroom. Now I'm in the bathroom and I'm washing my hands, staring at myself in the mirror thinking, what did I do wrong in my life? When my colleague Joan comes in. Now Joan, she's an older lady, she's in her 50s, very nice, very sweet. She sees me in the bathroom and she just lets out like this big squeal like,
Teresa!
And so I look and I'm like, hey Joan, what's going on? Coughing all over the place.
Teresa, can you believe it's almost Friday?
And she starts to kind of shimmy as she walks past me. And I'm pretty much watching her as if she was a contestant on The Price is Right, go to the last stall. You know, I nod my head. I'm like, yeah, I'm really excited for Friday. Can't wait for that. And she's like,
oh, I know. It's going to be a holiday weekend, so we get a half day.
I don't know what you're taking right now, but I need at least 6 of those. I turn off the faucet and I walk about 2 feet over where there's like the paper towel dispenser or whatever. And so I'm like drying my hand and she's like,
oh, so Teresa, what are you going to be doing for the weekend? Anything fun for the holiday?
As I'm turning around to tell her, no bitch, I'm not doing anything because I'm broke and poor, I see her in front of the stall. Her shirt is halfway up, so it kind of looks like a weird crop top, and her pants are all the way down to her ankle. So all I see is vagina. Now, granted, she has a panty on, but Joan is a bigger lady, you know, she's a thicker milkshake, just like myself. And you know when, how do I put this, where it just looks like a belly and you can't really tell if like there is panty or if it's just a pound of roast beef. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm just staring at her belly and vagina. I look into her face and she's looking at me like,
come on, why aren't you telling me the deets, sister?
And I just don't know what to say because I feel like it's like one of those hypnotic things. You're like I can't break the cycle. So I'm just like staring at her like, oh my God. And at the same time, and I get startled because the door behind me starts to open. I break the trance with the roast beef, turn around and look at the person coming in. There was a woman who then looks at me and goes, looks at Joan and her vagina, looks back at me, and then slowly backs out of the bathroom. I then whip my head back to Joan, and Joan is just staring at me, not even realizing that somebody just came in and saw her lady bits. Joan, I have no idea what I'm gonna do for the weekend, but I hope it's fun. She goes,
oh, I hope so too. You work so hard.
And then she went into the stall. So then I stood in the bathroom for another 35 seconds thinking to myself, did that actually really just happen? Thankfully, I went back to my desk and never saw her for the rest of the day because I was pretty much fucking scarred. In any case, that happened. If you have a weird bathroom experience where you saw somebody's lady bits, let me know down below because I love reading about them. On today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Pat McGrath Ecstasy mini palettes, which is this little guy right here. But before I give you my overall thoughts, let me read you a little bit about the palette first. Ecstasy Shadow Palette Mini retails for $28. A curated collection of 5 luxe shades to unlock the secrets of Pat McGrath's backstage kit in a sleek, compact, on-the-go palette. So for $28, what exactly do you get? First thing I want to note is that there are 2 palettes in this collection. There is Sublime and Subversive. I got the Subversive collection because the colorful shades spoke to me. However, there is more of a neutral, boring ass basic bitch palette. If you want that, go feel free to buy it. The first thing I want to note is that in this palette, as well as the Sublime palette, there are no new eyeshadows. Everything is already existing, whether it's in a palette or a single. So that's something to keep in mind. When you do get this palette, it comes in a very weird supermarket-esque type bag where it looks like you have some meat packaged where they just put a bunch of little gold sequins everywhere. It's really cute, but at the same time annoying as fuck, especially if you spill all those sequins everywhere, which is what I did. So fuck you, Pat McGrath. But in any case, packaging wise, it's really adorable. Now, when you do finally fish the palette out of the sea of sequins, you'll notice that it's plastic. And it kind of reminds me of like old school Nintendo boxes in that way. So if you are familiar with, like say Sega Genesis or like Super Nintendo packaging, how it kind of came in those like bulky kind of plastic cases, that's what this reminds me of. However, this is very sleek. I feel like, you know, there are two big misses with this packaging. One, it feels very, very cheap, which sucks because this is a very high-end luxury prestige brand. So it almost kind of feels just really shitty in my hands, considering that you have some drugstore or some kind of like middle of the road brands that have much, much more beautiful packaging for less money. So that kind of sucks. I really wish they put a mirror here because then I would forgive the fact that this is like plasticky bullshit. But I will note that it does stay up on its own. It's not like it's constantly going to keep falling over, so you don't have to worry about that. So as for the eyeshadow quality, they are completely fine. I'm actually very happy that I do not own these shadows already. That makes me very, very happy because I didn't realize it at the time that these were already existing. However, majority of these shades are either in the Mothership 4, which I believe was kind of like more of a specialty holiday palette, and I believe one shade is from one of the smaller Pat McGrath palettes, and two of them are just singles. So for me, this actually fits very perfectly in my collection because I do not have any duplicates, so that's wonderful. Now with that said, I feel like this is kind of marketed more towards somebody that is interested in Pat McGrath but doesn't want to take out a mortgage to buy a couple of her palettes, and I think that's really awesome in that way because you get to try her quality at a lower price point. It's exactly what Natasha Denona does with her mini palettes as well. I believe her price points are about 25 for 5 shades. This is 28 for 5 shades. The thing that is kind of a bummer about this is that they're all shimmer shades, and I like Pat McGrath's shimmer quality, but I definitely feel like they missed a mark in the sense that they should have put at least 1 to 2 matte shades in this, because then I really feel like this could be like a true on-the-go palette because you'll have everything that you need in one place. This though, like, yeah, you know, technically with today's look, I used, no, actually I take that back. I didn't use everything. I did put like a matte shade a little bit towards the top here. Okay, so I take that back. So as you can see, I couldn't really use the whole palette itself because I had to use another palette to complete my look. So I feel like if they were to do this again, I think the smarter thing would to be is to put at least 1 to 2 mattes in here, because then to me it would really feel like an on-the-go complete palette. So that I would say is like a big miss there. So with that said, quality-wise, it's awesome. I have no issue with them. There is a little bit of kick up, a little bit of fallout, but nothing too crazy. It's very easy to clean. The colors pack on very nice, whether if you're using it on a dry brush or using it with a wet brush. I didn't experience any sort of eye irritation with them. The colors build up very nicely and blend out very well, and you have the ability to layer certain colors. So for example, I don't know what I was doing today. This is kind of more of like a weird fucking Ursula moment I was having. I just felt very goth today, and it's probably because I'm wearing my craft t-shirt, but I wanted to kind of play around with like the blues and the purples and kind of use a little bit yellow in the middle, and I love how the yellow mixed with the blue kind of turned it a little bit green. I think it's awesome. I really do like the eyeshadow quality. I would recommend this if you have been looking at Pat McGrath but you really don't want to take the plunge on spending $55 or $125 on her palettes and you want to try something. I highly recommend checking this out because I totally think it's well worth the money. I just wish that she just threw a matte shade in there because then I feel like it would just be that much more complete. So I'm hoping that if these do very well, which I imagine that they are, that she will release another round and that they can include the best of both worlds, or even one, oh, this actually might be even a little crazier, but if she does have another palette like this where she's able to kind of put like, you know, majority of shimmers, but one of those like weird Star Trek's Next Generation kind of shades as well. That's what I call them. I don't really know the proper name of them. As well as a matte shade. Then I feel like that would be like a true, complete, awesome little palette on the go. That would be amazing. So maybe Pat McGrath will listen to that criticism and she'll do something like that in the future. But overall though, for the price point, I definitely think it's worth checking out, especially for something that is so luxury like Pat McGrath. So yeah, I don't have a bad thing to say about it. So for today's video, I'm actually showing you 2 different looks. I used all the colors and I don't have a bad thing to say about this palette. They're quite lovely. I love it. That's really it. So let me know down below if you're interested in picking up any of these palettes, if you care, if you don't care, whatever, because I love hearing from you little bubbies. And on that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that fucking subscribe button. It's free. And hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Discord. On Thursdays, we have a podcast called The Miserable 3. And sometime I'm on my husband's Twitch channel where I just yell about Barbie supermodel and how much I fucking hate her. So basically what I want to look like. I want to look like I got scurvy. No, I think I basically want to look like Stay Puft Marshmallow glazed me with his cum. If you want to watch any of that stuff, all my links will be listed down below, along with everything that I have on my face. Yes, because I am that bitch, because I got me some book of magic links out. All that shit will be down below, along with where you can get this cool shirt, because sometimes you guys ask me where I get my shirts from, and a lot of it is from Torrid, because that's where fat girls go. On that note, I will see you little pumpkins later. Bye.